I'm so happy. I like Mary. Me too. What's that over there? What's stopping? There's a person inside. There's a person inside. That's pretty cool. Where is my friend? He's not here. There you are. Friend, there's a person inside.
And that actually helps them to move a lot faster when it's in the water. So fun fact, if anybody ever wanted to be an Olympic swimmer, you could not have a bathing suit that mimics their skin because it would make you marginally faster, and the Olympics considers that cheating. Stingrays do feel a little bit different than sharks though, and that's because they release a mucus layer all over their body. So if anybody has been up to our touch area yet, you'll feel they're kind of slimy. Kat, what do you think the stingrays feel like? Yeah, like a wet mushroom. They're a little slimy. They release that mucus layer all over them so that when they're swimming on the sand and the rocks at the bottom, they don't get any scratches on their bodies. Just keeps them protected. Now, one type of shark that we have here at Ripley in the tank are our bonnet head sharks that are swimming up around the top. They do look like small hammerheads. They are related to hammerheads, but they actually do not get any bigger than the size that you see them in there. So they are full grown. And they're called bonnet heads because they have a rounded forehead, similar to a baby's bonnet. Our three kinds of stingrays are our cow nose rays, which are the ones that are right in front of Kat now. They do more of a flopping motion with their fins, and they look like they're smiling a little bit. Then down at the bottom, those big brown ones are our southern stingrays. And we also have one rough-tailed ray in the tank. Kat, he's right below you there. Yep, so those white patches on the back. And obviously he's called the rough-tailed ray because he has a rough tail. There's little bumps on the back. Now, Kat, that's probably your favorite stingray, isn't it?
Oh, I think certainly is. You can see most of these guys are pretty around their ears.
Just so you know, Kat, you're going to have to speak up a little bit. The mic is going a bit quiet. So that rough-tailed ray that you guys saw swimming by there with those white patches on the back, he is actually 22 years old. Now looking at that ray, how many of you think you would be strong enough to lift that up? Raise your hand if you think you're really tough. You think you're tough enough to lift it up? That is a 200-pound stingray. So when they're swimming through the water, they look pretty light, but he is pretty hefty. And he's probably the biggest stingray that we have here in the tank. We also have rough-tailed rays in the dangerous lagoon that you would have seen earlier going through the tunnel. Now, is anyone here in the audience fan of superheroes? Raise your hand if you like superheroes. Batman, Spider-Man, Superman. I'm always impressed when I see the adults raising their hands too. Good honesty. Did any of you know that stingrays are also superheroes? Superheroes? Gasp, you're all so surprised. You're speechless, right?
Logan.
So, stingrays have a superpower that is very similar to Spidey's spider sense. So they have what are called electroreceptors. And if you look up close on their, what would be kind of like their face area, they've got tiny little black dots. Those are the electroreceptors. Sharks have them too. And what they sense are electrical waves. So when any animal, us included, has their heart beating or moving their muscles, they are giving off an electric wave. And the stingrays are able to detect that. And they use that superpower, we'll call it, to try and find their food. So they can find things like crabs that are hiding underneath the sand with those electroreceptors. And once they find the food that they want to eat, they use their fins to splash and move all of the sand out of the way. And then they can suck the food up, just like you saw him doing there, actually. That was perfect timing. Once they've got the food in their mouths, they actually don't have sharp teeth like sharks do. They have flat teeth. They're called dental plates, and they have 7 sets of them. Now, even though they are not sharp like a shark's, it still hurts quite a bit to get your finger caught in it. Kat, what does it feel like? They've been here before, right?
Yes, well, with these big guys, it feels kind of like getting your hand in a car door. So
yeah, but they don't mean to bite you, right? It's just because they like food?
These are incredibly gentle animals.
Yeah, they are pretty gentle. So when you guys are up at the touch area, always good just to only touch them on top, just to avoid their mouth. They don't do it on purpose, but they do like food.